Hey everyone, it's Jack here. How are you? Hope you're doing really great today on Sunday. Recording this video in Guildford, at Guildford Castle. Got a beautiful view behind me, some lovely English autumnal views, and the massive Guildford Castle just behind me. So the pool matches of the Rugby World Cup are done, and it's been an incredibly exciting tournament so far. For those of you who are rugby fans, you will no doubt have been watching lots of it, and I have to say the biggest surprise package so far has been the host Japan. Rumour has it they've been in preparation for 8 months, getting ready for the World Cup, and they've gone and trumped their group, beating Ireland and Scotland, which is a real turn up for the books. So full credit to Japan. Seems like the tournament's going really well. I have a number of friends who either have been out or are out right now, and it looks like it's just going really well. Typhoon Hagibis accepted. So what are my thoughts on the rest of the tournament and the way things are going to turn out? Well, first up, first quarterfinal is England-Australia. Naturally, obviously, probably no prizes for guessing that I'm predicting that England are going to go all the way. Why do I say this? Because I'm blinkered by patriotism. That's the only reason. I do feel that England have a really strong chance of winning this World Cup because we have great squad depth, a number of brilliant players in key areas, and a very strong squad unity. The one thing I will say is that we've been a little bit imprecise in our execution and haven't really come to the boil yet, and to have our biggest game in the quarterfinals without having come to the boil yet is somewhat of a risk. I think Australia have played really well. Their game against Wales, for my money, was my favourite of the tournament so far, but I do think England will be strong enough to overpower them next Saturday. Next up is New Zealand-Ireland. What a cracking game that's going to be. You have to fancy New Zealand for the pure fact that despite not being ranked #1 in the world pre-tournament, they're most people's favourites because, well, their pedigree, their recent experience at World Cups, having won the last 2, and on their day they're just so dangerous and so ruthless that it's hard to look beyond them for that game. Albeit Ireland on their day, they have beaten them twice in the last 3 years, so could spring a surprise, but haven't really been doing all that well this World Cup. Additionally, what's next? Japan against South Africa. That is going to be a fantastic match. Obviously Japan famously beat South Africa in the 2015 World Cup, which was arguably the biggest rugby upset of all time. I do think the South Africans will be too strong for them though, because they beat them in the World Cup warm-ups, and South Africa are looking really pretty tasty at the moment, and I do think they'll be strong enough to overpower Japan. Nevertheless, I would of course love to see Japan doing it. And the final quarter is Wales-France. Have to fancy Wales for that. They've just been so clinical, disciplined, and looking really sharp in this World Cup. So the French on their day, of course, can spring a surprise on anybody. However, I just think Wales will be too good for them. So that would lead to semis of Wales-South Africa. It could go either way. It's going to be an incredibly close match, that one. And then England-New Zealand. I do believe that I'm getting abuse in the background from my Australian girlfriend. She doesn't like that, but whatever. I do think we're going to send Australia out. And then New Zealand, England. Obviously my heart says England will win. My head, if you were to put a large amount of money on it, you'd probably back New Zealand. But it could be any one of those 4 who go on to win the tournament. I do think it'll be between Wales, South Africa, England and New Zealand. It's been an incredibly exciting tournament. Hopefully in 3 weekends' time we will be celebrating a grand English victory. And let's see how it pans out. It's been a brilliant World Cup. I love it when the World Cup's on because it's just so exciting. I love my rugby, and I know many of you watching this do too. If you're watching this video and you have done all the way through, you must be a rugby fan. Thank you for sticking with me. Wishing you an awesome week ahead. Enjoy the rest of the games, and let me know who you think is going to win the Rugby World Cup in the comments below. Have a great one. Cheerio.